Hello, so it's Friday and we're in Lamentations chapter 5. So we've reached the end of this amazing book. I don't know what your experience has been of reading through it. It's certainly not a book of the Bible that we naturally gravitate to. In fact, for some of you, maybe you've never even read it before yourself. But I hope as you've read through it this week that it's been helpful to you. I hope, like I said at the start of the week, I don't expect that you've been inspired or felt particularly motivated or uplifted by it. But what I do hope is that your knowledge of God has been expanded and that your faith in Him has been strengthened. But here we are, we're at the end of it today. We're in chapter 5, and just one quick reflection from some of the words of chapter 5 as we finish this book together. It's the prayer that the poet is praying. The last 4 chapters, the poet has been pouring out his heart to God, has been expressing his anguish and his pain. He's been asking hard questions of God. Even at times, you kind of get the sense that the poet has been raging at God or getting angry with God. But here we are at the end of this book, and Jerusalem is still in tatters. The city is still a desolate place. The walls are still rubble. The temple is still flattened. The Babylonians are still in charge, and so the picture hasn't changed much at all. But here the poet begins to pray, and I find it really interesting that right at the very end of chapter 5, this is what the poet asks God to do. Chapter 5 verse 21. Restore us to yourself, O Lord, that we may be restored. Restore us to yourself, that we may be restored. I find that a really powerful prayer. When I consider what I probably would have prayed in that situation, and what I do pray in situations where I'm facing difficult, painful moments, the poet doesn't say, Lord, rebuild the walls, or rebuild the city, or rebuild the temple. No doubt he had desires for those things in his heart, but that's not what he asked God for. He doesn't say, Lord, would you banish the Babylonians? Would you destroy our enemies? Again, no doubt he had desires for that in his heart, but that's not what he prays. His prayer at the culmination of this book is, Lord, would you restore us to yourself? It's a prayer for a renewed relationship. It's a prayer to know the presence of God again. It's a prayer to be restored to intimacy with Him. See, I think the poet knew something that we would all do well to know, is that what we need as human beings in any and every situation of our lives, what we need more than anything is the presence of God. What we are most in need of is fellowship with Him. What we need more than anything is to be in a close, trusting, covenant relationship with God. And it's really easy to pray that God would just sort out our problems, sort out our circumstances. And God does do that, and He can do that. And He wants us to ask Him to do those things for sure. It's not a wrong prayer to pray, but what we need more than anything, friend, you know this, what we really need is to know the presence of God in us, with us, at every moment of our lives. And so perhaps as we end our time in Lamentations, you can spend a few moments just seeking God and asking Him that you might know more of His presence in your life. So thank you Thank you for reading through this book with me this week. I hope it's been helpful to you. Take care. Bye-bye.